Hello, hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry, Onikakushi. Let's go ahead and jump in to the next chapter. A few days had passed since the incident. During that time, either Mion was busy or Rika-chan had to help with the festival preparations, so we couldn't get everybody together for club activities. Even though I thought I would never want to participate again after the years it shaved off my life each time, not having it only made my heart grow fonder. I really am not honest with myself. Today, we finally had our club activities again. These weren't the same old club activities. It was called the Watanagashi 5 Demon Firefight, and it was one of the biggest events in the club.
Keiichi, この浴衣、まだ着れるかしら?
Does this yukata still fit you?
ちょっと袖を通してみてくれる?
Can you try it on for a second? Mom pulled out an old dusty yukata.
いいよ、浴衣なんて。
Nah, I don't need a yukata.
恥ずかしいから普段着で行くよ。
Those are embarrassing, so I'll just go in my normal clothes.
でもお祭りなんだから着て行きなさいな。
But this is a festival. Wear it, okay?
レナとかは普段着でいいって言ってたぜ。
Nana and the others said regular clothes were just fine.
浴衣なんか着てったらかえって恥さらしだよ。
If I was the only one wearing a yukata, it'd be even more embarrassing. I put on the same old vest as usual.
祭りにはレナたちと行くからさ。
I'll be going with Nana and the others.
俺のことは放っておいて大丈夫。
So you don't need to worry about me.
そう?
Is that so?
じゃあ、母さんは父さんが起きたら二人で行くわね。
I'll be going with Dad when he wakes up. Dad let out a loud snore from the sofa.
あの調子じゃ、夕べも徹夜かな。
From how it looks, he must have pulled an all-nighter last night.
急ぎの原稿をようやく発送したとこなの。
He just finished sending in his manuscript.
ひょっとすると起きないかもね。
So he might not wake up for a while. It seems my dad writes for art magazines sometimes too. I've never read it though. I wonder if my dad is a really famous artist. As his son, it's a bit strange for me to say, but I can't imagine he's selling all that well. But he's able to feed a family of 3, and my life isn't exactly full of hardships. Maybe he's actually a master painter, and I just never knew it. Keiichi-kun, are you home? Uh-oh, it was already time. I didn't want them coming here, so I was planning on leaving early and waiting outside.
あらあら、レナちゃん。
Oh my, it's Rena-chan.
いつもうちのケイイチがお世話になってまして。
Thank you for always looking after Keiichi.
おばさま、こちらこそお世話になって。
Ma'am, he's also looking out for... Why are you blushing just from meeting my mom?
そこで真っ赤になるな。
Don't get all flustered.
実に気まずい。
This feels so awkward.
行くぞ、レナ。
Let's go, Nana. Since Nana would continue to space out if I left her here, I grabbed her hand and dragged her out.
レナちゃん、ケイイチをよろしくね。
Nana-chan, look after Keiichi for me.
はい、おばさま。
Oh, yes, ma'am.
ケイイチくんはレナが命に変えましても。
Even if it means I must sacrifice myself. Then why don't you do it right now? She waved back even as I was dragging her away.
はい、ケイちゃん。
Alright, Kei-chan.
今日はお腹すかしてる？
You hungry today?
露店で済ますんだからね。
We'll take care of that at the stalls.
部活が露天勝負と分かってて、腹を無駄に膨らますと思ったかよ。
You thought I'd let myself get full knowing the club activities will involve the stalls?
そうでなくっちゃ。
Wouldn't have it any other way.
サトコとリカちゃんは
Where are Rika-chan and Satoko?
もう神社に行ってるのか？
Are they already at the temple?
リカちゃんはお祭りの実行委員さんだもん。
Yep, Rika-chan's a festival committee member after all.
さとこちゃんもきっと一緒だよ。
Satoko-chan is probably with her as well.
そっか。よっしゃ
I see. Alright.
今日は目いっぱい騒ぐぞ
Let's make some noise today. Yeah! We were already in high spirits with just the three of us there. It was way more lively at the Furude Shrine than the last time I came, far exceeding my expectations. Throngs of people were crammed between rows of market stalls lined with colorful paper lanterns. Despite that, it was actually quite enjoyable.
すげえ人だな。
There sure are lots of people here.
南沢ってこんなに人がいたんだ。
I can't believe they all live in Hinamizawa.
綿流しのお祭りはみんな来るよ。
Everybody attends the Wadanagashi.
多分、ひなみ沢の人の半分くらいは来てるんじゃないかな。
I think about half the village is here.
それだけじゃないよ。
It's not just that.
近隣の町の町会や子供会も招待してる。
Municipal and youth councils from neighboring towns and villages advertise this event as well.
そうだよな。
That's right.
俺たちの学校、あれしか生徒いないのに。
There aren't that many students at our school,
今日は子供の姿がやたらたくさんある。
but there's a lot of kids here today.
お祭りの賑やかさは、やっぱり子供の賑やかさだからね。
It just doesn't feel like a festival unless there are kids running around after all. Hello and good evening. These two knew everybody we came across. Of course, I greeted them as well, but I still wasn't familiar with everybody yet.
あら、レナちゃん。
Oh, Rena-chan.
この間はお惣菜をありがとうね。
Thanks for the food you brought me a while back.
うちの子も美味しいって喜んでたわ。
My son loved it. He said it was delicious.
いえいえ、
It was nothing at all.
気に入ってもらえて嬉しいです。
I'm glad he liked it.
カズマサくんにもよろしくお伝えくださいね。
Say hello to Kazumasa-kun for me, please.
よ
Oi!
ー園崎のお嬢ちゃんじゃねえの
If it isn't Sonozaki Ojo-chan.
今年も屋台担いで来てやったぜ
I'm in charge of a stand again this year, so make sure you come visit.
おっちゃん、太った
Pops, have you gotten fatter?
今からそんなお腹じゃ、果ては心筋梗塞だね。
You'll end up having a heart attack with a gut like that.
おこの兄ちゃんは新顔だな
Oh, this kid here is new.
嬢ちゃんの後輩かい
Are you one of her underclassmen?
うちの部員だよ。
He's one of my members.
期待のニューフェイス。侮ると一晩で屋台潰されるよ。
An upcoming hopeful. If you cross him, he could crush your stand in one night.
嬢ちゃんのお墨付きかいそりゃお手柔らかに頼むぜ
You've got the little missy seal of approval, I see. Hope you take it easy on me. As you could imagine, Mion was chatting away with the old guys running the stalls.
みーちゃんは元気いいからね。
Mi-chan is really energetic after all.
おじさんたちにすごく人気あるの。
She's really popular with the older men.
レナも人気あると思うけどな。
I think Rana is pretty popular
可
too.
愛いし。
Being cute and all. That was, of course, so long as her little condition didn't flare up. But as long as she's blushing quietly, she's pretty cute.
あ、レナが
I'm
誰に人気あるのかなあるのかな
popular with some people. Really? Really?
誰かにだよ。
With some people? I evaded giving her a straight answer by roughly tousling her hair.
露天商は町からわざわざ来てくれるんだよ。
The stall keepers came all the way from town.
やっぱりこういうのがないとお祭りは盛り上がらないよね。
It's not really a festival without them after all.
で、それを俺たちは荒らして回るわけか。
So, we're gonna mess with them now?
どんな勝負にせよ。俺は負けないぜ
I don't care what kind of match it is. I'm going to win it.
そうだね。頑張ろう。
Oh, yes. I'll try too.
ああ、
Hey!
遅いですわ、皆々様。
You're all very late.
レディーを待たせるとはケイチさんもなってないでございますわ。
It's unacceptable to keep a lady waiting, Keiichi-san.
おー、そりゃすまんな。
Oh, my bad.
で、その待たせたレディーってのは、どこにいるんだ？
So, where's this lady I've kept waiting?
ワンですって？
What did you just say? Alright, Satoko was in top form as well. Seemed she was excited about being able to get everybody in the club together for the first time in a while.
リカちゃん、かわいい。
Rika-chan, cute. Nana let out an elated sigh. It seemed that the real lady had made her appearance.
こんばんはですよ、みんな。
Good evening, everyone.
ケイイチもこんばんはです。
Good evening to Keiichi as well. Ooh,
いいねいいね。
looking good.
今年も決まってるじ
You're looking sharp again this year.
かわいいかわいい。
Cute.
お持ち帰り。
Gonna take you home. Rika-chan was wearing a shrine maiden outfit. Yup. Nana's little outburst was completely understandable.
リカちゃんの服装は本格派だな。
Rika-chan's clothes sure look like the real deal.
これって本物の巫女さんの服か？
Is that a real shrine maiden outfit?
ゃん。うちのばっちゃのお手製。
My grandmother made them by hand.
結構本格派でしょ？
They're quite authentic.
リカちゃんはお祭りの最後に大切なお仕事があるから、その衣装なの。
Rika-chan has an important role to play at the end of the festival, so she's wearing this. I see. Rika-chan was on the executive committee because she performed all the shrine maiden rituals for the festival.
お仕事はお祭りの最後のところだけなのです。
My work is only during the finale of the festival,
まだまだゆっくり遊べますですよ。
so I can still play for a while.
ってことは、ここで時間を無駄にできないということですわ。
So we cannot afford to waste any time.
参りましょう。
Let us begin.
よっしゃー。
Alright. It felt good to wander around the festival with just the five of us. Neon called everyone over to a stand that had caught her attention and proposed a rather odd competition.
たこ焼き早食い勝負。
Takoyaki eating race.
各自購入の上。よーい、ドン。
Everyone has to buy their own. Ready? Go! A standard in vendor stalls, the takoyaki stand. What was especially standard for these kinds of events was the fact that they were simply balls of dough, takoyaki, and name and only.
ケイチくん大丈夫？
Are you okay, Keiichi-kun?
お水お水。
Have some water.
ああ、そんな熱々たこ焼き丸飲みなんて自殺行為でございますわ。
My, eating those scalding takoyaki, how? It's suicide.
作り置きの冷めたやつを購入するのがコツかな。
I guess the trick is to buy the ready-made ones that have been left there for a while.
実に美味しくないですよ。
They really don't taste good. The stall next to it was a shaved ice stand. It was still a bit too early in the season for that, but right then it didn't matter.
今度はかき氷にしようぜ。
Let's do shaved ice this time.
完食早食い勝負だ。
It's a shaved ice eating race.
レディー、ゴー。
Ready? Go!
かき氷の早食いなんて無理。
Shaved ice eating race? I can't.
体温で少しでも溶かせば冷たいですな。
As long as you can melt it a bit with your body heat, then it's so cold.
甘いね。
Not smart.
おじさんはシロップ大盛りで頼んだのさ。
This old man ordered it with plenty of syrup.
混ぜればすぐに溶ける。
It'll melt quickly when it's mixed up. Those stooges were too late. The moment they chose to tackle it head on was their own downfall.
完食だ
Finished!
ケイちゃんが
Kei-chan is done.
早すぎる。
That was too fast.
まさかケイチくん、後ろの金魚すくいのお水を入れたんじゃ。
It couldn't be, Kei-chan. You didn't add water from the goldfish tank behind you, did you?
実に美味しくないですよ。
That can't taste very good. Next to that was another old favorite, a cotton candy stand.
次はこちらにしませんこと？
Why don't we do this one next?
もちろん早食いですわ。
Of course, it's a speed eating contest.
ねえねえ、わたあめの早食いなんてどうやるんだろう？
Hey, how do you eat cotton candy quickly?
どうやるんだろう？
How? On Satoko's mark, Mion, Satoko, and I all compressed the cotton candy with our bare hands. The time it took to stick the whole thing in our mouths, 3 seconds.
さとこはともかく、ケイちゃんも気づいてたとはね。
I expected Satoko to figure it out, but I didn't think Kei-chan would too.
俺をいつまでも新入部員扱いしないことだぜ
I can't have you treating me like I'm a newbie forever, can I?
実に美味しくないですよ。
It won't taste very good. Rika-chan had also crushed it between her hands and stuck it into her mouth.
こんなわたあめの食べ方、きっと日本中でもここだけだよ。
This is probably the only place in Japan where people eat cotton candy like this. I think only Rana's cotton candy was happy with how it was eaten. But it felt like we'd end up doing stuff like eat noodles through the nose contest or human water pump at the goldfish scoop at the rate things were going.
それでもおじさんは勝つけどね。
This old man will probably still win too.
白磁気勝負ではミオンさんにはかないませんわね。
I am simply no match for Mion-san when it comes to eating repulsive things.
ああまったく
Yeah, seriously.
何あんたたち。
What's up with you guys?
次は焼きそばにブルーハワイかけて食べる勝負にしたいわけ？
Are you telling me you don't want to have a blue Hawaii topped yakisoba eating contest? Shake, shake. Both Satoko and I shook our heads in unison.
あのさ、今度はちょっと食べ物から離れたゲームにしないかな？
Can we have a game that doesn't involve food this time? Can we? Rena's proposal was a godsend. It was about time we played a different kind of game. It also seemed like neither Rena nor Rika-chan were any good at speed eating or gorging themselves.
じゃあレナ、次のゲームをあんたに任せるよ。
Okay, Rena, I'll let you pick out the next game.
なんでもいい。
Anything is fine.
じゃあね。
Well then,
レナは審判だよ。
I'm going to be the judge.
このお祭り会場でかいいものを探してくるの。
Find cute things on the festival grounds.
制限時間は1分。
You have 1 minute.
上等ですわ。
Fine by me.
レナの好みは分かってますもの。
I know exactly what Rena likes.
よし
Alright,
多分あれなら勝てる
I think I can win with that.
よーい。
Ready? Go! Oh?
ケイチ君とリカちゃんはなんでスタートしないんだろう。
Why aren't Keiichi-kun and Rika-chan starting? Why not? Mion and Satoko dashed off madly, but Rika-chan and I calmly stayed right where we were.
ひょっとしてもう見つけてあるの？かわいいの。
Could it be? You've already found it? The cute thing?
もう見つけてありますです。 ケイイチもですね。
We've already found it. Keiichi too?
ああ、
Yeah.
なんだろう楽しみ。
What is it? What is it? I can't wait.
Both Rika-chan and I stood motionless for those few moments before Mion and Satoko returned.
こういう形で直接対決するのは初めてだな。
This is probably the first time we've gone head to head like this.
初めてしますです。
It will be the first.
リカちゃん、あれで勝つつもりか。
Rika-chan, you expect to win with that, huh?
僕も部員です。
I am a member of this club as well.
勝つためなら快速第3条ですよ。
Win by any means is our society's third rule.
Rika-chan sneered to the best of her ability. You're on. Both Mion and Satoko came back, each with their own plan of attack stuffed in their arms.
じゃあ順番にね。
Okay then. Let's go in order.
1番は部長さんのみーちゃんから。
Let's start with the club president, Mi-chan.
悪いけどいきなり決めさせてもらうよ。
Too bad, you guys. I'm ending this now.
おじさんはこれだ。
This old man brought this! Where did she get those? They were old diamond-shaped tin signs.
カレーに蚊取り線香、昔懐かしのブリキ看板だ。どう？
Pleb curry, snake oil, coil incense, nostalgic tin signs from the old days. How about this? That's very understated. A little too understated, Mion. I used to see those stuck up on barbed wire fences. They were more nostalgic than cute. Can you explain what part of that is cute? But there were puffs of smoke noisily shooting out of Nana's ears and nose, almost like a steam train. I didn't get it.
次は私が行くでございますわよ。
I shall be up next.
これでございます。
It is this.
It was the hand-drawn poster from the Ladies' Society roasted corn stall. It was a really bad sketch done by a housewife. An anthropomorphic roasted corn drawn without any sort of real plan. Its very existence invited a sense of sorrow to the viewer. Weep! That was the sound of blood jetting out of Nana's nose. It seemed to have been rated higher than Mion's. I really didn't get it. It feels like your artistic sense is a little avant-garde by about 5 eons.
所詮は量産看
Those were nothing but mass-produced signs after all.
板。手書きには勝てませんわ。
They had no chance against something hand-drawn.
I couldn't even begin to follow the way these guys were thinking.
では次は僕が行きますですよ。
And I will be next.
次はリカちゃんか。
Next is the Rika-chan, is it?
小道具もなしにどんな手を使うやら。
What can you even do without anything? Did you and Satoko both forget? If Rika-chan felt like it, she could simply... After moving back about 10 yards, she began waddling up to Nana. Seeing that, both Mion and Satoko gasped.
しまった。
Oh no!
Too late! Rika-chan tripped over nothing and lay motionless after falling down. Nana hurried over to her.
リカちゃん大丈夫かな。大丈夫かな。
Rika-chan, are you alright? Are you alright?
Rika-chan had a lump on her forehead and tears welled up in her eyes. Only her fingers peeked out from her sleeves. This was the vital part. The palms of her hands were covered by her sleeves. She just made a single sound.
み。
Me.
かわいいかわいい。
Oh, cute, cute.
お持ち帰り。
Gonna take you
忘
home.
れてましたです
I'd completely forgotten that.
一番身近な手を忘れてましたわ。
The play that I personally had to use.
Nana's face went completely red, her head bobbing back and forth with excitement. She embraced Rika-chan and began rubbing her cheek against her.
さすがだぜ。
I'd expect no less from her.
どこまで取っても
Not a,
一部の隙もない。
not a single element was overlooked.
ちびっこ
She's tiny.
ミコ
Shrine maiden.
涙
Brink of crying.
ミ
Meep.
完璧だ。
It was perfect.
ただの苔を萌えにまで昇華した。これぞまさに芸術と呼ぶにふさわしい。
A simple trip transcended into pure moe. Now this is what you call art.
ケイちゃんの方がわかんねえセンスしてるよ。
Kei-chan has a pretty weird definition of art. I'll just pretend the sharp sting of those words cutting through me like a razor was a figment of my imagination. Rika-chan turned her gaze to me with a daunting smile as she was caressed by Rena, who was in full Kyayu mode.
さあ、ケイイチ。僕に勝てますですか？
Now, Keiichi, can you beat me?
That cold smile is frightening, Rika-chan. It must be my imagination, but I see a demon inside her sometimes.
ケイちゃんにも何か秘策があってのことだろうけど、
Kei-chan seems to have his own plan of attack.
何を見せてくれるのかな。
I wonder what he's going to show her.
私としましても、ケイイチさんのお手並み拝見でございますわ。
I also wish to observe the play Keiichi-san will make.
ひょっとして、ケイイチも芸をしますですね。
Could it be? Is Keiichi also going to give a performance?
I basked in their pointed stares. I pulled Rena, who gave no sign of canceling out of Kyute mode, away from Rika-chan.
はうー。かいのかいの。
Cute thing, cute thing.
ケイイチくん、離して。
Keiichi, let go.
今から俺がもっと可愛いのを見せてやるから少し我慢しろ。
I'll show you something even cuter, so just hold on for now.
Huh?
え、
Oh?
もっとかいいの？
Something even cuter.
だがここはちょっとギャラリーが多い。
But it's a bit too crowded here.
あっちの影へ行こ
Let's go back there. Rena looked very surprised as I pulled her behind the shrine.
ケイイチさんの企みが見えないでございますわ。
I cannot fathom what Keiichi-san could possibly be planning.
ケイちゃんに限って。いや、まさか。
Kei-chan wouldn't stoop to... No. Would he?
ファイト、王です。
Keep fighting. Yeah.
After a bit, I returned. And a bit after that, so did Rena, dragging her feet.
まさかケイちゃんのやつ、ねんねのレナに変なことしたんじゃ。
There's no way that scoundrel Kei-chan did something to innocent little Rena. Mion and Satoko passed by me, heading straight to Rena.
変なことって一体何でございますの？
What exactly did he do to you?
For a moment, Rena was too dazed to realize someone was talking to her.
なんだ、みーちゃんか。
Oh, it's me-chan. Oh.
大丈夫？ケイちゃんに変なことされなかった？
Rena, are you alright? Did Kei-chan do anything to you?
レナ、変なことはされなかったよ。
No, he didn't do anything strange to me. Oh.
かなりの重傷ですわ。
This is quite severe.
ケイイチさんは一体何を見せましたの？
Exactly what did Keiichi-san show you?
とっても可愛かったよ。
It was so cute. Oh.
かわいい？レナ、あんた何を見せられたの？
Cute? What did he show you, Rena? Rena let out a really long howl. Her eyes sparkled as she spoke.
可愛かったよ、ケイチ君のオットセイ。
It was Keiichi-kun's furry little seal. Womp womp. In the blink of an eye, Mion and Satoko's elbows smashed into my face.
なになに？
Huh? How? What?
レナに汚ねえもん見せやがって
Showing Rena something so dirty.
この大関スケゴマシ
You sick pervert!
重複して差し上げますでございます。
I shall have you beaten into oblivion.
違う誤解だ
Wait, you've got it all wrong. A dark, billowing aura flowed from Mion and Satoko. It was no good. They're gonna kill me.
みーちゃん、なんだかわかんないけど、誤解だよ。
Me-chan, I'm not sure what's going on, but you've got it all wrong.
ケイチ君は
You see, Keiichi-kun had...
オットセイさんのキーホルダーですよ。
It's the first seal keychain.
Rika-chan stuck her hand into my pocket and pulled out my keychain. Huh?
昔、夏休みの宿題で作ったと言ってますです。
He said he made it long ago for one of his summer school assignments.
恥ずかしいので、めったに人に見せないとも言ってますですよ。
He said he doesn't show it other often because it's embarrassing.
うん、
Yeah,
ちっちゃくて可愛くて、
so small and cute.
精一杯頑張ったって感じがとっても素敵だったよ。
He tried his best to make it. It's so wonderful.
なんだ
Oh.
てきるおじさんはケイちゃんのあはは
This old man thought you bet it was Keiichi's.
さすがミオさんですわ。
I'd expect no less from Mion-san.
間違える方向もワイルドですこと。
You misconstrue things in the wildest ways.
They slung insults at each other and looked like they were ready to tear into each other at any second. I beg of you. If I'm in the clear, would you mind getting off of me? We were interrupted by the flash of a camera.
やあみんな、
Hey guys.
相変わらず元気そうだね。
You all seem energetic, as usual. It was Tomitaka-san. As I lay crumpled on the ground, Mion and Satoko continued to bicker above me. Rika-chan was patting me on the head, and Rena was still in cute mode. It was probably quite a lively scene.
こんばんはではございますが、レディーに断りもなくお写真を撮るのはエチケット違反でございますことよ。
It's a fine evening indeed, although it's rather poor etiquette to photograph a lady without her permission.
そうだな。
That's right.
少なくとも、サトコの許可は必要ない。
At least you don't really need Satoko's permission. Satoko dug her heel into me.
こんばんは。
Good evening.
あ、明日帰られちゃうんですよね。
Oh, you're heading back tomorrow, aren't you?
素敵な写真はいっぱい撮れましたか？
Were you able to take lots of good photos?
おかげさまでね。
Yeah, thanks for asking.
いい絵がたくさん撮れたよ。
I got plenty of good shots.
富竹のおじさまに会えるのも今晩限りなのね
Tonight's the last we can see of old Tomitaka-sama, isn't it?
お名残惜しいですわ
It's such a shame.
いい加減とっととメジャーデビューしてくださいよね
Hurry up and have your major breakout soon.
相変わらず口が悪いな。
Just as rude as ever, aren't you?
その毒舌もまた半年聞けないかと思うと残念だよ。
I really am sad I won't be able to hear that voice of yours for almost half a year.
せいぜい今夜を楽しんでらしてくださいな
Be sure to have as much fun as you can tonight.
明日の夜にはもう東京なんですからね
You'll be back in Tokyo tomorrow after all.
そうだね。
That's true.
星が見える夜空なんて
It'll be another 6 months.
また半年お預けだもんね。
until I can enjoy another night where I can see the stars. Tomitaka-san looked up at the night sky cheerfully. At that moment, even though he was smiling, I sensed a bit of sadness.
富武さん、いっそ住めばいいじゃないですか。
Why don't you move here, Tomitaka-san?
ひなみ沢。
In Hinamisawa. Tomitaka-san was speechless.
確かに不便なとこです。
It's not very convenient
店
here.
もないし、
No shops
娯楽もないし、何もないかもしれないけど。
or recreational spots. There might not be anything really here, but you know. Everyone knew what I was trying to say. Tomitaka-san was also well aware. Sorena, Mion, Satoko, and Rika-chan. None of them butted in.
俺はまだここに引っ越してきて一月も経たないからよくわからないけど。
I've only been here for less than a month, so I don't really know everything about it. Normally I'm a pretty talkative guy, but in situations like this I'm at a loss for words. Even though all this was happening in such a boisterous setting, it felt like all the background noise was fading into the distance.
ここにはきっと。
This place is probably... Tomitaka-san rested his hand on me gently, silencing me.
ありがとな、
Thank you,
ケイチ君。
Keiichi-kun,
ミオンちゃんにレナちゃん、
Mion-chan and Nana-chan,
サトコちゃんにリカちゃん。
Satoko-chan and Rika-chan. Tomitaka-san's smile was so slight it looked as if it was going to crumple at any moment, but it was still warm.
僕もここに住めたらきっと楽しいだろうなって思うよ。
I also think it would be great if I could live here. Those might have been cruel words coming from a kid who didn't need to worry about working to feed himself. A hand touched my back. It was Nana.
ケイチ君、大人をいじめちゃかわいそうだよ。
Keiichi-kun, you shouldn't pick on adults. It's not nice.
The background clamor of the festival returned.
またしばらくのお別れなんですからね。
We won't be seeing him for a while after all.
今夜は富武さんにもたくさん楽しんでもらわなくっちゃ。
We need to make sure that Tomitaka-san also enjoys tonight.
Nana smiled. The mood instantly got brighter.
そうだね。ぜひそうさせてもらうよ。
That's true. I think I'll do just that.
ねえねえみーちゃん、
Hey, Bee-chan,
どうだろう。
how about
富
it?
武さんを部活に入部させてあげるのは。
Can we let Tomitaka-san in on our club activities?
It's a great idea. Or so I thought, but Mion had a snobbish look on her face.
入部条件の一つに、ひなみ沢在住ってのがあるんだけどね。
One of the requirements for membership is residence in Hinamizawa, you see.
そんなみーちゃん、今日くらい意地悪しなくても。
Come on, Mii-chan, just for today, don't be mean.
コツコツ毎年来てるからね。名誉市民と認定してあげよう。
Well, he does come around often every year. I'll make him an honorary citizen.
やったー。
Whoa, yay!
さてさて、
Now then,
こんな旬を過ぎたご老体にこの私の相手が務まるんでございましょうかしら。
I wonder if this aged fellow, well past his prime, will be a match for me.
老快な大人の知恵を見せてもらいましょうです。
Let's have him show us the wisdom of a mature adult.
へへ。俺たちの若さについてこられるかな。
Can you keep up with us young'uns? Tomitaka-san stepped back slightly at our audacious grins.
部長、園崎美音の名において、名誉市民富武氏の我が部への入部を許可する。
I, Mion Sonozaki, club president, do hereby authorize honorary citizen Tomitaka's entry into our club. Her words were quickly drowned out by our cheers.
なんだいその部活ってのは。
What do you mean by club?
我が部はだな、複雑化する社会に対応するため、活動ごとに提案される様々な条件か、時には準拠。
What our club does, you see, in order to cope with our complicated society, we perform various activities with various rules. Sometimes they are in your favor,
あるいは逆境からいかにして。
and sometimes they work against you.
例 レナは弱いからいじめないでほしいな。仲良くやろうね。
I'm pretty weak, so I'd prefer you not single me out. Let's try to get along.
子供のごっこ遊びと侮るつもりなら好都合でございますわ。
If you wish to mock our childish games, then this will be the perfect opportunity.
着ぐるみ剥いで
We'll leave you with
地
nothing.
獄の底に叩き落としてやるぜ
We won't even leave the hairs on your butt.
つまり、みんなでゲームして遊ぶ部活です。
So, it's a club where we play games together.
Of course, Rika-chan was the only one to give an answer that made sense.
よーし、望むところだよ。
Alright, just what I wanted.
その挑戦を受けて立とうじゃないか。
I'll take you up on that challenge.
お手柔らかに頼むよ、先輩方。
Don't be too rough on me, my mentors. Tomitaka-san got riled up and did a victory pose like he was 10 years younger. That's perfect. We continued walking through the festival with Mion in the front. Now we looked like a family of 6. It had some intensity to it.
ルールはいつも通り。ビリにはもちろんお約束の罰ゲーム。
Same rules as always. The loser will, of course, be subject to a penalty. Tomitaka-san was a bit surprised, but to us it was just the same as always. Regardless of how terrible a penalty it was.
負けなきゃいいんだからね。
Just don't lose.
Nana was also brimming with determination. She didn't have any intention of losing.
そうだな
That's true. I tousled Nana's hair to lighten the mood. She giggled to hide her embarrassment.
なるほど。これが童心ってやつなんだな。
I see. This is what it means to feel like a kid again. Tomitaka-san whispered that to nobody in particular. At that moment, we heard an old man call out in a strong voice. Looking over, I realized it was the man Mion had greeted right before the festival.
来たかい。
You're here.
園崎の嬢ちゃん。今年は大人数みたいじゃねえの。
Little Miss Sonozaki. Seems you brought quite the crowd.
あんたの店、根こそぎかっさらいに来たよ。
We came to eradicate your entire stall. His stall was a shooting gallery. It was the usual setup where you had to knock down the prize you wanted with a cork gun.
ルールは簡単。
The rules are simple.
3発撃って得られた景品のでかさで勝負しよう。
3 shots. The winner is whoever gets the biggest prize. Everybody shouted their agreement. There was no need to consider how to win, since the condition for victory was simply size. The biggest prize of the stall, it went without question. It was that one, wasn't it?
あのクマさん、かわいいよ。
Whoa, the teddy bear. Cute.
Nana was gazing longingly at a large stuffed animal. It was intentionally placed on an unsteady platform, so it was possible to get if you hit it in the right spot.
と一瞬思わせる絶妙な配置が見事だな
It's magnificently set up to make someone think that.
さすがケイチさん。
Not bad, Keiichi-san.
一発でカンパすると思いましたわ。
I figured you would see through this game instantly.
ここは無難にキャラメルや人形を狙うのが定石のようだね。
The most logical course of action would be to aim for some candy or a doll. The intent analysis had already begun. In this club, you'll get eaten alive if you don't come prepared. Everything hinges on what you plan. Everything hinges on what plan you can come up with before the main event. At some point, a large crowd had gathered around us, making a big fuss. There was this much of a following for our club's infamous event?
クマさんを落とせれば勝利は確定しますですね。
Knocking down that bear ensures a win.
3発しかないんだぜ
Only 3 shots.
それを確かめるために使うには重いな
To use them all just trying, that'd be rough.
はいはい。
Hey,
他のお客さんも待ってるんだぜ。
I have other customers waiting, you know.
最初のチャレンジャーは誰からだい？
Who's up first?
先に挑戦した方が楽な景品を狙えて有利かもしれないけど、鉄砲の癖が見えないうちの挑戦は危険だね。
The first one has the advantage of being able to aim for the easier prizes, but it's dangerous to compete without knowing the gun's quirks. Tomitaka-san's take on the situation was pretty good. He gets what our club is about.
じゃあさ、公平にじゃんけんで決めるのはどうかな？どうかな？
Well then, to be fair, how about using rock, paper, scissors to decide? How about it?
結局それしかないかね。
That's really the only way.
じゃんけん。
Rock, paper, scissors! After a couple of matches, it ended up with Mion being first.
一番は避けたかったんだけど。ハンデってことにしとくかな。おっちゃん、10!
I didn't want to end up first. Oh well, I'll just think of it as a handicap. Gramps, gun.
そらよ。
Here you go. When the shooting range guy handed her a rifle, Mion looked over it intently. She didn't forget to check the cork bullet
オ
either.
ッケー。
Alright,
この銃はおろしたてだね。
this gun is brand new, isn't it?
癖はなし。悪くない。
No faults, not bad. Mion raised the gun in one swift motion. It was completely different from her careful inspection. She was shooting from the hip. Fire. Reload. Fire. Reload. Fire! Flop. Flop, flop. 3 candy boxes fell, one after the other. A big haul. The crowd paused in a moment of awe and then erupted in cheers.
すげえぞ
Awesome!
やるでございますわ。
That was quite good.
Tomitaka-san was at a loss for words after seeing such shooting prowess.
すごいよ、みーちゃん。
Amazing, Mi-chan.
3つ。
3-3.
Her accuracy was incredible. Her choice of targets wasn't bad either. The 3 Mion had gone after were fairly large and pretty easy to knock over. They were all targets with a very high return on investment.
2番手は誰？
Who's up next?
さとこ？
Satoko?
気をつけて。弾が軽い。
Careful, the bullets are light. Next was Satoko. Her rifle looked a bit big for her lithe body, but it didn't seem like she had any problem with the weight.
やはりここは大物狙いで行かせてもらいますわ。
Of course, I shall aim for the grand prize.
She proclaimed that she was going after the teddy bear. Damn, Satoko. Such a bold move.
クマさんを落とせば、その時点でさとこちゃんのトップは確定するね。
The moment she knocks it over, she's guaranteed to be in first.
さとこちゃん、頑張れ。
Good luck, Satoko-chan.
Satoko was the opposite of Mion. She aimed at the target quite carefully and squeezed the trigger.
弾が軽いですわ。
These bullets are too light.
First 2 bullets struck the bear in the torso, but it only shifted a bit. You need to aim higher towards the head or it won't work. Satoko's 3rd bullet wasn't aimed at the bear, but at the candy box below its arm.
残念でございますけれど、私にクマは2が勝ちすぎているみたいですわね。
I hate to say it, but it appears the bear is just too much for me.
She went boldly after the big catch, but since she switched over to a less impressive prey at the last second, the crowd only gave a strained laugh. Were they laughing because she lacked the courage? These fools know nothing.
さとこ、いい仕事をするじゃん。腕を上げたね。
A fine attempt, Satoko. You've gotten better. The palm of Mion's outstretched hand went poof as it tapped down lightly on Satoko. She appeared to just be talking hot air, but this was actually completely calculated. Damn, that's Satoko. Just to avoid being in last place, she dared to switch over to an easy target. without shame or honor. Magnificent.
クマはレナさんに譲るでございますわ。
I'll allow you to take the bear, Nana-san.
健闘をお祈りしましたよ。
I pray for your victory. Okay.
ありがとね、さとこちゃん。
Thanks so much, Satoko-chan.
クマさんかいいよ。
Mr. Bear is so cute.
Nana was up next. She couldn't hit the broadside of a barn as regular Nana, but she said that bear was cute.
レナちゃんはどうだろうね。
I wonder how Rena-chan will do.
一つくらい当たるといいんだけれど。
I hope she's able to hit at least one.
富武さんはちょっとレナを甘く見てますね。
You're underestimating Nana, Tomitaka-san. It's Nana, you know? It's Nana Ryugu, you know? If it was to get that teddy bear. Tomitaka-san wheeled around to see what all the commotion the spectators were making was about. If it was to get that bear, she'd be able to shoot through a pinhole. The one known as Nana Ryugu could do it.
揺れてるよ。かいよ。
This is aching and shaking. How cute.
Nana couldn't hide her excitement over the bear's slow rocking. Now Nana couldn't lose.
さすがレナさんですわ。
Not bad, Nana-san.
冷静を失えば失うほどに。
The less collected you become,
強い。
The stronger you get. Another big cheer. Nana's bullet hit the bear's forehead again. Not enough. The bear seemed to wobble more than before.
でも、無理かもしれませんですね。
but it might not be possible.
いやー、わからないよ。
You never know.
レナちゃんの腕だったらひょっとすると。
With Nana-chan's skill, it might be. While Tomitaka-san was just as excited as the crowd, Rika-chan's analysis was not swayed by emotion. If Nana had 10 more shots, then she could surely knock it over. But with just one more, no matter how you looked at it, no go. The crowd let out a dejected moan. She had shot it right in the forehead 3 times. It was a bit late, but they gave her a good round of applause for the attempt.
コマさんお持ち帰り。
Oh, Mr. Bear, take him home. Oh.
She should be praised for her valor, but she had no trophies to show for it. Then, at that moment, the old man flicked one of the candy boxes with his finger and handed it to Rena.
こいつはジョーちゃんのだぜ。
This for you, little lady.
くれるの？
Huh? You're giving this to
レナに？
to me? Oh,
あんなすげえの見せられて手ぶらで返しちゃ。お天道様に申し訳が立たねえぜ。
The gods wouldn't forgive me if I let you go home empty-handed after such a display. There was another shower of applause. Rena turned bright red, and I pulled her back over to us by her hand.
頑張ったじゃないかよ。
You did a good job.
ああいうモードのレナにゃ驚かされるぜ。
Your cute mode really surprised me.
惜しかったよ、クマさん。
oh, I really wanted Mr. Bear. Oh.
It was easy to see that it only needed a little more to be knocked over. Nana had done quite a lot for me. I still needed to pay her back for that delicious picnic.
よっしゃ、そんなら俺が。
Alright, then I'll
僕が取ったらプレゼントするよ。
get it and give it to you. What? Tomitaka-san had stolen the words right out of my mouth.
Okay, okay.
お願いね、富武さん。
Please, Tomitaka-san.
頑張れ。
Good luck.
Damn you, old man, Tomitaka! Stealing the good parts for yourself. A small hand stretched over and gently fell on my head just before I was overcome with frustration.
ケイイチもファイト王ですよ。
You keep on fighting too, Keiichi, okay?
Tomitaka-san carefully studied the bear. Setting his sights, he shouldered the rifle while holding the other 2 shots in his hand. Huh?
どういうことだ？
Why is he doing that?
間違いない。
Yes, no doubt.
富武のおっさんの狙いは
Tomitaka-san is aiming for... The time between shots was short. It was meaningless to shoot again once it stopped shaking, so Tomitaka-san was relying on rapid fire to win the battle. It was visibly wobbling much more than it ever had before, but that was all. It still didn't fall over.
残念だった。
Oh, too bad.
All of Nana's momentary expectation from watching it sway violently turned into a dejected sigh.
結構いけると思ったんだけどな。
I really thought it would work.
男だとキャラメルはもらえないようでございますわね。
It seems that, since you're a man, you will not be receiving any candy.
That was it. It meant Tomitaka-san had no spoils of war.
つまりケイちゃんとリカちゃんは手堅く楽なものを撃ち落とせばビリ回避ってわけだね。
So both Kei-chan and Rika-chan can just shoot down a short, easy prize and avoid being dead
ビル
last.
回避か。
Avoid being the loser, huh?
すみませんね。
Sorry about that.
今度はケイイチ君の番だよ。検討。
It's your turn next, Keiichi-kun. Best of luck. I was the 5th shooter. I took the rifle from Tomitaka-san. If I took the ruthless route, as Mion had suggested, then I'd go for something insignificant. Except, when I picked up the rifle, I definitely got a feeling from it. It was burning passion, passed down to me by Tomitaka-san. The regret of not being man enough to fell the bear that Rena wanted. Yes, that's right. If I didn't aim for the bear, then I wouldn't be a man.
約束しちまったからな。
After all, that was my promise.
レナに。
To Rena.
Huh?
約束ってなんだろう。
What promise? What?
あのクマを撃ち落として、
To shoot down that
レナに
bear,
プレゼントするって。
then give it to Rena. That one.
それって。
Oh, you mean how?
The crowd went wild when they saw our conversation. Oh, cool, Oni-chan. Show us what you got. That's not it, fine men of the crowd. If I didn't do this, then Rena might mug the old man running the stall on his way home. No, that's not it. That's not it at all. Why can't I just express my honest feelings?
ケイイチさんも男を見せますのね。
Keiichi-san surely talks the talk.
でも実際どうやってクマを落とす気ですの？
How do you actually intend to bring down the bear?
レナや富武の弾で幾分傾きはしましたですが、難しいと思いますです。
Nana and Tomitaka-san's shots did make it tilt a bit, but I think finishing the job will be difficult.
ケイイチくん。
Keiichi-kun.
もっと素早い連射力があれば、一撃ごとの揺れにパワーを上乗せできるのに。
If there was only some way to shoot faster, I'd be able to pile more power on the sway from each hit.
頑張ってケイイチくん。
Good luck, Keiichi-kun.
After taking 2 deep breaths, I shouted over to the
こ
guy,
こもう2丁貸してくれ。
2 more rifles! Huh? The crowd murmured amongst themselves.
ケイイチさんは何を企んでいるのでしょう。
I wonder what Keiichi-san is up
一
to.
人じゃ3丁は使えないですのよ。
One person can't handle 3 rifles at once.
読めたよ。
I get it.
ケイちゃんも考えたじゃん。
Nice thinking, Kei-chan. Mion was able to figure it out magnificently.
つまり、一番時間がかかってるのが このコルク玉の装填なんだよ。
Basically, what was taking the most time was reloading the shot.
そうだよね。
That's right.
じゃあ、先に弾を詰めた鉄砲を3つ並べておけば。
Then, by putting 3 preloaded rifles next to each other.
Tomitaka-san went silent, peering at me and the bear through his lens. His photographer's blood predicted a miracle will occur. Then the crowd finally picked up on what I was planning. They let out a great cheer. They chanted my name, Keiichi. Rapid fire is the key. If I miss, all is for naught. Phew. After letting out a deep breath, I paused. Relax. Now! That moment, it felt like time itself had stopped. I felt like I could see the trajectory of the bullets, hit it, and knock it down. The first shot hit the bear on its head. The second, the third, the bear swayed hard, and then the cheers began before the stuffed animal even finished falling off the shelf. The guy caught it before it hit the ground and tossed it over to me.
まさか本当に落としやがるとはな。
You actually knocked it over.
乾杯だぜ。
You got me.
すごいや。おめでとう、ケイチ君。
Amazing. Congratulations, Keiichi-kun.
ケイイチさんも頭を使えるようになりましたわね。
Keiichi-san has finally learned how to use his head.
少しは見直しましたですな。
I see you in a slightly better light now.
俺一人で落としたわけじゃないぜ。みんなで当てて、少しずつずらして落としたんだ。
I didn't do it all by myself. Everyone hit it, and those small bits together brought it down.
こいつは、俺たち全員の戦果だぜ。
This trophy belongs to all of us.
そうそう全員の力の結晶だね。
Right? This is from all of us working together.
ミーは一発も当ててませんです。
Me didn't hit it a single time.
After holding up the teddy bear like it was a championship trophy, I handed it to Nana.
そうだ。
Here,
こいつは俺から、いや、みんなからだな。
this is from me. No, everyone.
いつもうまい弁当、ありがとな。
Thanks for always making your delicious lunches. Nana, thinking she was never actually going to get it, was momentarily speechless.
ダメだよ、ケイイチくん。だってこれはみんなの。
I can't. Keiichi-kun, this is everyone's
じゃ
after
あ、落
all.
としたのは俺。
In that case, I was the one who knocked it down.
これは俺の。
And it's mine.
俺のだから、レナにやる。
It's mine, so I'm giving it to Nana. I pushed the stuffed animal towards her again. This time she embraced and accepted
俺
it.
が引っ越してきてから、いろいろ面倒を見てくれたよな。
You've watched out for me ever since I moved here, after all.
すげえ感謝してるんだぜ。
I'm really grateful, you see.
ありがとな。
Thanks a lot.
Oh,
ケイイチくん、
Keiichi-kun,
ありがとう。
thanks so much.
Nana dove at me.